There was a time when Friday nights smelled like popcorn and the sound of plastic cases echoed through every living room. A time when choosing a movie was a ritual, a destination, a promise of joy, and at the heart of it stood one name, glowing in yellow and blue, Blockbuster. But what happens when an empire built on joy collapses? When an icon that once shaped culture becomes nothing more than a decaying skeleton in the graveyard of nostalgia? This is not just the story of a company. This is the story of how we watched the future arrive and didn't realize it was quietly killing the past. Welcome to the invisible collapse. It all began in 1985. A man named David Cook, a software engineer, realized something simple but revolutionary: video rental stores were a mess. Limited selection, chaotic organization, late fees scribbled on paper, a nightmare of inconvenience. Cook had an idea: industrialized joy. His vision? A rental experience so efficient, so massive, that it could feel like walking into the Library of Alexandria, but for movies. In 1985, the first Blockbuster opened in Dallas, Texas, with its iconic blue carpet, yellow tickets, and walls lined with thousands of tapes. It was an instant cultural phenomenon. By the mid-1990s, Blockbuster wasn't just a store. It was part of life. Over 9,000 locations worldwide. Millions walked those aisles every week. Date nights, family rituals, friend gatherings. Blockbuster became ritualized happiness. But while Blockbuster was becoming a giant, the seeds of its demise were already quietly being planted. But Blockbuster had a blind spot. While the 90s thrived on physical media, a storm was quietly brewing: the internet, broadband, digital compression. In 1997, two entrepreneurs approached Blockbuster with a radical idea: an online DVD rental service that would ship movies directly to your door. No late fees, no driving, no lines. The company was called Netflix. Blockbuster laughed. Literally, they dismissed the offer, called it impractical, a toy for tech enthusiasts. Meanwhile, Blockbuster doubled down on late fees, a system that quietly generated over $800 million per year. It was a revenue stream, but also a poison. Customers began to resent it. As the 2000s rolled in, broadband exploded. Streaming became feasible, and Netflix was watching, waiting, growing. While Blockbuster expanded physical stores, the future was going digital. But Blockbuster couldn't see it, or refused to. By 2004, Blockbuster started to panic. They launched a rushed DVD mailing service, introduced no more late fees campaigns, but it was too late. Netflix had already shifted from DVDs to streaming. The very concept of going to a store was obsolete. In 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. Thousands of stores shuttered. The fluorescent glow faded. Plastic shelves dismantled. The final blow was not just technological. It was symbolic. The death of Blockbuster marked the end of an era where physical experience, browsing, touching, choosing, was part of entertainment. We traded the ritual for convenience, and in that transaction, something was quietly lost. The fall of Blockbuster isn't just the story of a company. It's a story about how fragile the things we love really are. About how convenience can quietly kill experience. Today, there's only one Blockbuster left in Bend, Oregon. A monument to a forgotten ritual. A museum of what it meant to choose, to browse, to wander. The world didn't collapse overnight. It never does. It collapses, quietly. Invisibly. The invisible collapse is always happening, and most of the time, we don't even notice. Like, subscribe, and comment.